And now it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about this year's Teacher of the Year. Linda Glasgow has 30 years experience in education. She's a third grade teacher at John Nolan Elementary in the Blue Springs School District. Linda always knew she was meant to be a teacher. She played school, she volunteered to teach younger children at church, she mothered her siblings and neighborhood children, and worked at a child care center while in high school. Her parents gave her the gift of curiosity, a passion for learning, and a strong sense of independence, traits that she carried with her into education. As a first-year college graduate in her family, Linda led her siblings to become college graduates. 2 of her sisters followed her into education. Linda describes herself as a lifelong learner who's willing to take risks in order to strengthen her skills and share what she learns with new teachers, colleagues, and pre-service teachers. Linda believes that investing in education is wise, is necessary, and perhaps the only way to solve the issue of poverty. Fully investing in our students requires belief in the human spirit, a commitment of time and energy to give our students the education they deserve, and the funds to fully support our schools. She describes this dream as both wise and necessary for the future of our state.
My parents were my first teachers. They taught me to be a lifelong learner, to love reading and to love learning. I think I'm so happy in teaching, and it's so rewarding for me because of the relationships I form with my students and their parents. And my strengths as a teacher are that I take time to make sure I know how to teach the content to my students and that I understand the standards that they need to learn and that I teach them well, but also that I reach my students' hearts so that they care about learning and that they want to be lifelong learners as well. And students are naturally curious, so I'm nurturing that gift of curiosity and encourage them to become lifelong learners. I also hope to leave a legacy of someone who's a collaborator, someone who wants to learn and become a better teacher, someone who collaborates with my colleagues, and someone who's a leader and still a learner, and someone who's also working with teachers before they become teachers, those student teachers and students at the university, and giving them an understanding of the art and science of teaching. I would encourage them to remember that teaching is a noble profession and what you do makes a difference and it matters, that you can be involved in transformational things and helping children have better lives and changing lives. And then I also want to set an example. This is what it looks like to be someone who's in teaching for 30 years, who still loves I still love what I do. I still love coming to school every single day, ready to teach and to learn.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you our 2015-2016 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Linda Glasgow.
Thank you, Commissioner Vandeven. Thank you, Dr. Katnick. Thank you to the Missouri State Board of Education, the Boeing Company, the Monsanto Fund, the Smart Technologies, all of the associations who lend their support, and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education staff for your time, energy, resources, and work on behalf of the students and teachers of Missouri. To my new friends in our Teacher of the Year adventure, Amy, Kim, Melissa, Michael, Yulia, and Chris, you are examples of excellence for your students and colleagues, and I am honored to serve with you. It is an honor to be named the Missouri Teacher of the Year, and I am humbled to stand before you. I am thankful for my John Allen Elementary School family and my Blue Springs School District family. I'm thankful for my husband Shane, my parents, my sisters, my entire family, and my friends. To the loved ones of each teacher honored here, we are stronger teachers and better people because of your support. It's a pleasure to be here tonight with you all to celebrate teachers and education in Missouri. My husband and I love to travel. In June, we celebrated our 30th anniversary with a trip to Oregon. We prepared by poring over maps, guidebooks, websites, and retracing our steps from a previous trip. We logged nearly as many hours planning the trip as we did taking the trip. We enjoyed the coast of Oregon, the vast ocean and huge monoliths. We traveled inland to wine country, the rolling hills and neat rows of grapes, one after the other. We moved on to Portland, Seattle's quirky little sister, and her amazing food, people, and art. We traveled on to the awe-inspiring Columbia River Gorge and the majesty of Mount Hood. We took time to savor each moment while checking off our list of required sites. Somewhere during our travels, we met a man who made a suggestion: leave the beaten path, take a small detour, and visit Larch Mountain. Not in the guidebooks, this Larch Mountain. We casually decided we had the time and were up for this unplanned adventure. We didn't know then that it would become a highlight of our trip. Finding Larch Mountain was not difficult, but it did require a little patience. While driving up the winding road, we were struck by how little traffic we encountered. We had just come from the tourist-filled Multnomah Falls and were refreshed and maybe a little concerned by the lack of human activity on this new path. We forged ahead and arrived to find a state park with just a few cars in the parking lot, no park ranger, only an honor box for the daily use fee. Lush forests surrounded us, with trailheads sprinkled around, and not a sign in sight. We made a guess, wrong as it turned out, and took off hiking. Finally, we met a hiker and stopped to talk to her. She gave us directions that included going back the way we came and along a different path. She advised us to hike the trail, climb the steep stairs, and promised that we would be rewarded. Minutes later, we stood at an overlook on top of Larch Mountain and viewed 5 beautiful mountains. It was breathtaking, an unobstructed view of the Cascade Mountains on a clear day in Oregon. Our Larch Mountain experience is one we prize, the result of our effort and our decision to capitalize on an opportunity. As it is with travel, so it is with teaching. We spend a significant amount of time planning, making sure we teach the standards, working to engage our students, assembling supplies and materials, and managing our time and resources, checking off our list of requirements. Our challenge is to go further, leave the beaten path, take a detour, and learn something outside of our comfort zones that will enhance our learning and the learning of our students. Like Larch Mountain, these opportunities may not be the obvious choice, clearly described in the guidebooks, or easily reached on our first attempts. Like Larch Mountain, our opportunities to learn and to lead may be unknown and reveal themselves over time. I am fortunate to have the opportunity to take new journeys as a teacher leader. These journeys, although a little daunting at times, are experiences I treasure. I know that when I capitalize on opportunities to learn and to lead, the rewards are great for my students and for me. As a 30-year veteran teacher, people ask me when I plan to retire, and I respond by saying that my journey is not yet finished. I still have more to give and more to learn. As I begin a new journey as Missouri Teacher of the Year, I resolve to be worthy of this honor. My journey will take me places I never dreamed I would go. This journey will allow me to learn and grow in ways I haven't yet imagined. How can I be sure that I deserve the opportunity to represent the teachers in our state? How can I inspire educators to march behind me, or even better, beside me? I must use my journey to lead as an opportunity to touch the life of a student or a teacher, those I already know and those I have yet to meet. I must take every opportunity to share our many success stories and contribute to education, to make education in our state even better. I must consider the paths ahead of me and how I can make a difference for students, for teachers, and for public education. I'd like to share a quote by Brian Herbert. "The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice." And so I ask you, are you using your journey as an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone and learn something new? I want to challenge each one of us to think more purposefully about finding our calling, realizing our potential, and choosing a path that allows us to learn and grow. I challenge each one of us to choose to be a lifelong learner. Hike the trail, climb the steep stairs. I promise you will be rewarded. Thank you.